Former President Donald Trump told NBC News on Friday that he has decided who his pick for running mate will be, although he hasn't told anyone about it in true Trump fashion. Whoever he does pick for VP will be pivotal, since not only will they help or hurt Trump's general election chances, but they will also become an instant frontrunner for the GOP nomination in 2028. 2 weeks ago, we talked through the 8 reported candidates on the shortlist, and now today we'll take a closer look at the 3 top contenders who have emerged as the top 3 in the race for second place. We'll look at their backgrounds, what parts of the GOP they come from, and how they may help or hurt Donald Trump this November for today's Ishaan S Show Daily. From the reports that have been coming out of the Trump campaign, there are now 3 top contenders for the VP slot: Senator Marco Rubio, Senator J.D. Vance, and Governor Doug Burgum. Each of these candidates has their own merits and demerits and will vary in popularity across the MAGA base and the general election base. As one would see it, Trump's trying his best to cater to the best of both worlds, since one of these men will likely be taking on a lot more responsibilities in PR tasks than good old Mike Pence might have because of Trump's legal troubles this time around. Trump might also be looking for someone to take on the helm after his second hypothetical term were to be up in 2028. He's looking for someone who could appeal to the party, but someone who could also be president after him. Marco Rubio, the senior senator from Florida, has been a name in GOP circles for a while. His political career began in the Florida House of Representatives, where he served from 2000 to 2008, including a stint as Speaker of the Florida House from 2006 to 2008. Rubio first gained national attention during his Senate run in 2010 when he won a competitive 3-way race. In the Senate, Rubio has been known for his focus on foreign policy, national security, and immigration reform. In 2015, Rubio ran for the Republican nomination for president in the 2016 election, and despite a strong start, he eventually had to suspend his campaign after losing the Florida primary to none other than Donald Trump, and the two did not have a nice relationship after that. However, it was through his presidential campaign that he quickly became a household name, and he began to mend his relationship with Donald Trump. Because despite having opposed many of Trump's policies, particularly on immigration and matters such as Ukraine and Russia, Rubio has been gradually shifting his public opinions to align with the presumptive GOP presidential candidate. However, there could be a constitutional dilemma if Rubio were to be chosen as Trump's running mate. According to Article 2, Section 1 of the U.S. Constitution, presidential and vice presidential candidates can't be from the same state. While not automatically disqualifying, it would force Rubio to change his residency, since Donald Trump isn't expected to give up his Florida residency status, and potentially give Trump's former rival, Governor Ron DeSantis, a chance to pick Rubio's successor. Another thing to consider is that Rubio is not particularly gifted when it comes to high-profile events or TV gigs, which might be a liability given the media-obsessed environment we're in right now. Now let's move on to Governor Doug Burgum of North Dakota. Burgum entered politics relatively late in his career in 2016 when he ran for governor of North Dakota as a Republican, defeating the Republican establishment candidate in the primary and then winning the general election by a significant margin. He was reelected in 2020, but during both terms of his time as governor, Burgum has focused on diversifying North Dakota's economy, promoting technology and innovation, and addressing issues related to infrastructure and education. He's generally seen as a dark horse candidate, as his stock only shot up very recently as compared to other candidates. Burgum announced his candidacy for the 2024 Republican nomination back in 2023 when he positioned himself as a pro-business, pro-innovation candidate with a strong track record on state governance. He dropped out quickly in December of 2023 after failing to qualify for the TV debates. As a candidate, Burgum has some strengths, including his business acumen, as well as his executive experience, given that he is a 2-term governor, and he has significant experience in that area, something similar to former Vice President Mike Pence's appeal. However, Burgum struggles with name recognition, since, notably, the only thing that most people remember from his presidential run was when he dropped out. and he has some more innovation-related policy differences with Trump. Last but not least is Ohio Senator J.D. Vance. Vance first gained national prominence for his memoir Hillbilly Elegy, published in 2016, which became a bestseller and brought national attention to his perspective on the struggles of working-class Americans. Vance's entry into politics was influenced by his growing public profile and the success of his memoir. He moved back to Ohio in 2017 from California, where he was a venture capitalist, and in 2021 he ran for U.S. Senate and won the Republican primary with Trump's backing, and subsequently the general election in 2022, defeating Democratic candidate Tim Ryan. It's also worth mentioning that Vance also served in the Marine Corps, including serving a tour in Iraq. Now, some of Vance's strengths draw from his identity. His personal narrative and life story and his memoir resonate with many Americans who have experienced similar economic and social challenges, which adds to his reputation as a truly real populist candidate by successfully aligning himself with the populist wing of the Republican Party, something that not much of the rest of the Republican Party has been able to do. He's also been said to be a skilled orator, someone who could plausibly give Vice President Kamala Harris, a skilled debater herself, a run for her money on a debate stage. Adding to the fuel, former President Trump was also said to have made a secret visit to Cleveland, in Vance's home state, after telling reporters that he had made up his mind about his choice for VP. However, Vance would struggle with his relative inexperience in politics and governing, as well as his flip-flop from 2016 when he was very much against President Trump. Ultimately, the only person right now who knows who Donald Trump's VP will be is, well, Donald Trump. Trump did say that it was very likely that the VP candidate would be at Thursday's presidential debate, so we'll all be keeping an extra set of eyes to see who's in attendance. Trump could also pull the rug from underneath everyone's feet and pick someone not on the finalist list at all. Whoever it'll be, we'll be the first to report, so stay tuned, and don't forget to subscribe and check us out on Spotify, Instagram, and Twitter.